We all remember Dusty Trip, right? You know, before the game became pay to win and trash. I mean, we all remember trying to play it, make it as far as we can, before we even knew how to assemble the damn car. But you know, a new games came around, and apparently it's called Dead Rails, and it's 10 times better than Dusty Rails. And it's 10 times better than Dusty Trip ever was. And there's only about 3 simple reasons for that. But besides that, what's up? It's your boy Coffee Dog, and today I'm discussing how Dead Rails has done everything Dusty Trip wanted to do, but better. If you don't mind, you should like the video, and yeah, I'm gonna start talking. Alright, the first reason, you know, in my opinion, Dusty Trip fell off is probably because, you know, how pay to win it was. I'm not gonna hold back here, I'm just gonna tell you the facts. Dead Rails has a total of like $5 in game passes. Obviously, you can buy like extra stuff in the game, don't get me wrong, right? But $5 in game passes is crazy considering if you look at Dusty Trip, it's one game pass is about $5. It's everything's basically 500 or more, or around there, which is basically the entire price of every game pass in Dead Rails. One game pass for Dusty Trip is the entire game pass catalog in Dead Rails. I would also say it became bad because instead of adding actual content, they just started adding, you know, stuff you'd pay for. So, any good car you want, God's gonna run you about 2,000 Robux, not USD. That'd be atrocious. I mean, in my opinion, it was just pretty rough because the more money you spent, basically the farther you'd get because you'd have a faster, better car with more gas. It was just busted. Compared to Dead Rails, where the only free thing you could buy is extra bag space and a gun. That's legit about it. And it's not even a good gun at that. Like, you can legit just play the game for like 3 hours, and if you know what you're doing, get the same stuff for free. Compared to, you know, Dusty Trip, where if you want to get the same stuff, it's not gonna happen. You're not gonna find a minigun in the freaking gas station. You're not gonna find a freaking lightsaber just, you know, sitting in a windmill. You're not gonna find a freaking gravity gun or a hoverboard just, you know, chilling in the open. It's not gonna happen. That's also crazy. So I would just like to point out the fact that even though Dusty Trip was never this big of a game, like, it was just horrible at start. You know, after like the first like month and a half, there was already like gambling wheels, and there was legit, it was just horrible. Like, what we have in Dead Rails is 10 times better, and my second reason actually is content. Now you may say, oh, Dusty Trip added whole new worlds, but that's not what we needed. First off, just the original Dusty Trip world, the sand one. I think that's one we all remember, right? Apparently there's like another one, like a grass one. But it is crazy because they never perfected really the sand one. Don't get me wrong, you don't need to perfect it. But there was still a ton of flaws with it, which I'll talk about right now. I would say the flaws were definitely, let me think. Maybe that there was basically no buildings. Getting guns felt impossible. The hunger system was pretty made considering if you had a lot of people, you wouldn't be able to feed everyone, making it basically impossible to play with friends. Also, if you had more than like 5 people, you couldn't fit everyone in the van, so you need to get different cars. And also, you know, the gunplay was just trash. I mean, you try to shoot somebody, it's impossible to aim the damn gun. You're going around, you're shaking it like you're scared. And yeah, I'm pretty scared too because I can't aim this damn AK-47. And let me just say, you know, just because you can't aim, you know, maybe your team can, but yeah, you forgot your team doesn't have a gun because it's impossible to find one of these little bastards. Now let's compare this to Dead Rails, where you could basically get guns off spawn, legit, if you just play the game a bit and get rolls. Guns are super easy to find, making sure most of your team could probably afford guns by the first 10k. Plus the gun mechanics, I'm not shaking around the gun. I'm holding it in my hand so I can actually shoot the enemy that is going to try to murder me. I'm not shaking it around like, because guess what? It's impossible to aim that little thing. I hate the gunplay in that game. It was so bad. Oh yeah, I got sidetracked about the gunplay because of how bad it was. But let's genuinely talk about content. Dusty Trip was already trying to make their next world so they could capitalize on new people trying to play, even though the first one felt empty. Let's see what Dead Rails has done. They have not made a new world yet, and they've just kept adding new buildings, new stuff onto their main one. Try to get it as well as they can, I assume, before they even try to get one, which, you know, is crazy. They also actually care about evening the game out, where, you know, anything that's broken, they kind of remove. And it's also a lot of rare Easter eggs, like, oh, getting struck by lightning, oh, finding a unicorn. Like, there's stuff in the game where in Dusty Trip, it just felt like, oh, you could go to the vending machine and get a 1 in a million gun that you're never going to be able to use again unless you put it in your bag. But it's a 1 in a million chance. We're getting a unicorn. Like, everyone can find one if they play, like, 20 games, which is a lot better than a 1 in a million chance. And the third and final thing I want to talk about is enjoyability. Now, listen, we all get it. It's enjoyable to play with your friends. I know you don't have any, but you can assume it is, right? And here's the thing about Dusty Trip. It felt like it was a party game. You're supposed to play it with all your friends. It's supposed to be a good time. But it felt like it didn't want you to. Unless you bought better cars or, grinded the year it took to basically get a bigger car. Guess what? You're done. You could fit like 5-6 people in a van. What if you want to play with 10 people? That sucks. Or I think the max was 8. Also, for the first week or two of the game being huge, if your car got flipped over, your run was over. Legit, it was just over. Which, happened a lot because I'd be driving. I look to my left, right? And I'd see a tornado. It'd pick me up and it'd throw me. What am I supposed to do there? And there's also these little pebbles in the road. You'd hit one of them, your car would go flying 50 feet. And there's nothing I could do there. And now, don't get me wrong. This video may age horribly. Dead Rails may suck too in a month or two. But considering what they're doing, I feel like it's gonna be good. Like, I feel like this could be a very insanely popular game for the next maybe year in Roblox. That's my thoughts though on why I mess with the Dead Rails and why I think Dusty Trip fell off, because it's trash. Like the video if you don't wanna. I'm not your dad. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. And yeah.